Back on the 41 again this week, trying to get her done. Floor pans, that's what we're gonna be working on. I've cut out a few of these and I bent them. I made a homemade metal brake out of some angle iron sitting right back here. And you put the metal in, flip it over. Hopefully loosen this up, put the metal in. You can put your handle in, pick it up, bend the metal. And I was using that to bend some of this metal for the floorboard. And I ain't got it all done, I just got it kind of bent up. I don't have anything cut to fit. Like how this corner rounds, just it's a hard turn, hard 90-degree corner here versus smooth. So we're gonna try to get this floorboard buttoned in somewhat. I gotta finish the bottom of the steering column. That's a biggie. So that's what this is gonna be about. Let's get after it. So being that this truck's sitting so low to the frame, the transmission's sitting higher than what it normally would. So I had to build a hump to go over the transmission. But I'm gonna get the floor pans put in first, these first sections, get that mounted and fastened together. And then I'm going to work on the passenger side here, then the driver's side, and then I'll finish the hump in the middle. Oh, let's get this set down about where we need it. I'm gonna mark areas that I need to trim. Do a lot of guesstimation work. I am no professional at any of this, so. I made a little template here. Kind of fits in the corner. So, set this back in here. I do have it marked pretty correctly, that pencil. But I'm gonna use this soap some stuff. I can see what I'm doing. That works there. So we know this is what's gonna. So we know that's what we gotta do here. This corner. Well, I don't know, this ain't. What the shit? Maybe because I put the pencil there. Alright, I don't know. Got a good mark here, so. Grab the grinder, cut that turn, and this front part up here has to come in a little bit here. Boy, this thing is rusty. Rusty but trusty. Process for this side. Get that angle out of here. Need to figure out where it needs to go. Just use my tracer from the other side. I need some of that Rusties from that Cars movie on this bad boy. Mark here. This fancy template worked perfectly for the other side. Worked perfectly for this side. steering wheel makes everything black if it touches it. I'm gonna delete out the part where I said the F word, but I gotta get rid of this thing. This thing, if you touch it, okay, my hands are kinda dirty. Well, that ain't a good example, but I gotta get rid of that steering wheel. Alright, let's eliminate this steering wheel. I just messed up a nice hat. I'm gonna have to wash. Pop down here. Well, that ain't all of it. This piece can pop out too, I guess. I don't know how these work. It's like, I never messed with this, so. Okay, there's a ring around it. Metal ring. Bend that up. Somebody might be watching this thinking, oh, you're ruining it. And I'm not using this steering wheel. This thing makes your hands black. Okay. Oh, we can just pry it over them. Okay, nope. I have to bend that out at all. Okay. Take that nut off there. Hopefully this thing pops out pretty easy. I have bumped my head on this too many times. Just have made my head black. Nope, I ain't gonna just pop off. Okay, have to, my steering wheel over in here. I doubt it. Yeah. Whole steering. This whole shaft's wanting to come up, so I ain't got nothing attached at the bottom. So I'm gonna grab my steering wheel remover. Well, I just ended up pulling the column up and taking a hammer to the back side of that little fancy dancy steering wheel puller I had. Won't it go in tight enough to get it, but I think she's loose now. I just backed it up and hit it with a hammer. Pop it out. The steering wheel just makes it so black. It's so nasty. Whoopsie. She's off. Off like a prom dress. I'm gonna lay this old nasty booger over here in the spare steering wheel nasty holder spot. I did not cut this one properly. It needs some trimmed off this side. It is hitting the transmission really hard up there. It's not squaring up very well neither. It's just, I have to do a little trimming, do a little measuring. I want to measure from each side to side because this is, I think, 9 inches. I'm gonna have to grab a tape measure. Then make sure I pull this over. I'm still at least 9 inches where that can slide over it. All right, let me grab a tape measure. All right. Oh, you probably can't see me writing with the pencil, but I got, probably can't tell, but I got a spot here marked, here marked, here marked. I have to bring this up to about here, and this is just, I guess this ain't very square. So, all right, let me trim it up. Fingers crossed. Do just a little bit of trimming in this turn here because it ain't quite right all the way up to here. Alright, well, I put a couple self-tapping screws in this. I went ahead and trimmed that piece off camera. I already had it bent and cut. I just had to trim that down. I just got the hump sitting here. I'm gonna have to build something. Goes, I guess, at an angle here, up to here, down. I don't know. It's gonna be, that one's gonna be a little trickier for me. being that I ain't no metal sheet specialist of any sorts. But I'm gonna get underneath the steering column and stuff done. I got a bearing I gotta put on. I'm gonna put on the bottom of that steering shaft because it's real floppy. This is, I guess, the way these were made versus how I'm gonna use it is completely different. So I'm gonna try to get that plate cut out underneath the steering. Then I can just pull that steering shaft up, cut the housing deal flush with the floor. Either put the bearing on the outside, or I really thought about just putting the bearing on the inside. I don't really care what it looks like. I mean, obviously it's gonna have this rat roddy crappy look to it, so who cares where the bearing is. But let me hop over to the other side, and I'm gonna try to pull that steering column up, try to mark the bottom of that steering. I'm gonna cut that shaft where I can slide a piece of flooring in behind it. I can punch it out later. Okay, this shaft goes through this housing. This is actual the steering shaft. Well, I need, see, it's got play in it down here. I need that to be stable, so I bought a bearing to go on the bottom. I'm gonna bolt to a plate that I'm gonna have mounted to the floor, and I'm gonna cut this piece here flush with the floor, have the bearing on the bottom side, or maybe put the bearing on the top side, honestly. But I gotta get this screw out, that screw, which don't look like much. So just melt the heads of them off. I should have grabbed some glasses. There we go. The fire's shooting at us! Free. I want to break free. I want to break free. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh baby, that's what I like. I wish I could slide that up. I wonder if I could slide this here, pull that up some there. Oh, if that'll pull through that, I'll pull it out, cut it flat, really flat, slide it back in. Oh, that would be cool. That'd be real cool. Let me try to pull this out. I don't know if that's gonna work. Ta-da! Slid right out. This is why I want to slide it out. I want to get this end cut real good. If I can get it cut flush real good, I'm gonna step it up a little bit, cut it. Now I'll just slide it in, and if it's too long, I'll just slide it back out, cut it down a little more. So this is how I kind of done the other floor pan over there. I tucked it in behind it, underneath where I got to cut, and I just took a thing and marked right through here where I got to cut that out, and then I'll pop that up, slide it up. Should fit pretty good. Except I'm hitting the transmission pretty hard down here, so I know it's gonna come up a little bit. I ran into that problem with the other side. Go ahead and just trim some of that off. Get rid of that. Maybe I can get this set up in there. Run a self-tapping screw or two into it. Maybe one here and one here. And then kind of get marked where I want to put the bearing. Blast the bearing through it. Blast a hole through for the bearing. Mount the bearing. Get the steering shaft and stuff back in. Actually, this is going a little bit easier than I thought it was going to go. Knock on wood. Ain't no wood. Alright. See how she fits. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Good enough for the women I go with. Alright, I'm gonna get a self-tapping screw put in over here. Over here. gap up here on both sides. The floor like sinks in right there. I'm gonna do the right thing and spray it full of expanding foam whenever I'm done. Shave it off and call it good. I gotta figure out some sort of rubber floor I'm gonna put in here. Thing is perfect. Fits perfectly. Now I'm gonna get the steering shaft worked back through here, but not as far down. Kind of get where it naturally wants to go. Bearing set there. Draw it out. What did I do with that shaft up here? Right here. Really need to double that. Give me a second. I got a couple burrs on this. I'm gonna spray that down with some PV Blast and get the burrs off that. Maybe it'll slide in real easy. All right, got it cleaned up, shoved through, going in and out really easy. So I'm gonna try to pull this up a little bit higher. Wants to ride right there. Pick it up, you can see it. If I pick up, it just torquing that up. So probably right about there. All right, well, let's get this up just a little bit. All right, give me the idea where it needs to sit at. Back up. Yep, that's where I wanted to set that. Of course, it's going to slide, you dummy. It's on a slick piece of metal. I'm gonna pop this back out. And so I'm going to set the bearing in here and mark where the bolts and everything else goes. Mark it up real good to where I need to cut everything and go drill it all out. So this is what we got here. I got the bearing on the plate, on the floorboard, and I'm going to slide that up. I'm going to re-screw this down, and I'm going to slide this down to that. I'm going to run the shaft all the way through. Attach the shaft back to the steering on the other side. Have to turn that bearing a little bit. Get that shaft in there. I don't know. I need to get that shaft in there first. Slide. Got me some chips and a drink. Cool beans. Anywhere, bud. Alright, thank you. Alright, come on, man. Clean that shaft up so it'll slide through that bearing a little easier. Huh. Boom! Got a steering wheel in here too. I ain't got the steering hooked up, but I took steering wheel out of that 80 Chevy that I pulled the motor and transmission out of. So let's get this floor pan right here done. Center hump. See what we got to do about that center, and this will almost be a wrap. I'm afraid that center is going to be kind of a pain, but here's the bearing, shaft, everything ran up. I could knock this down a little bit more, but I kind of like where it sits at. I got a little bit of play in it that I'll be able to figure out whenever I get seats put in here. I have some seats over there. There's one. But the back of it is the cab right here. I didn't really do much research into what kind of seat I need to get, and I found a couple cheap ones. I just jumped on them, and I don't think they're gonna work. So let's get this driver's side floor pan put in, center hump, then we'll take some measurements and drawings and head scratching to figure out what we're gonna do for that front part of that. Yeah, I got 2 inches at this bend whenever I was bending all that, so I could have some overlap it and run screws in it. What the floor is going to look like. Let me get, like, put a self-tapping screw here, here, probably here, and set that center hump on. Okay, right here. Self-tapping screws in here. And it's looking like the feet won't fall through, but probably pop all these out, run a bead of silicone where they seam around here, maybe some underneath there. Keep water from getting up in it. But to be fair, center hump time. What I could do is cut this at an angle, slide this up, and see the back ain't even touching anyways. Then underlap the back, slide this up where it needs to be, and underlap the back behind it, go all the way to here, and then that'll get me to about here, and then I'll just take a small piece and bend it through. Well, there's what I got. I just needed to add a little piece here. I cut that at an angle and slid it up. And so I'm actually gonna put this piece underneath the floorboard. But I'm gonna build this little piece right here. And I'll have to use my metal brake on this that I made. And I'll demonstrate how I done it whenever I get to that point. I need to take a few measurements, then I will get to bending this piece. Alright, so this is that homemade brake press that I made. I took a 2x4 hinge to a piece of angle, all the way to hinge to 2x4. These 2x4 so I can clamp it down to any table. And then pull the bolts off each side. Okay, so you lay your metal across here, and then this piece of angle that you put down and bolt down, you shove these handles into these little sockets that I welded on, pick it up, and it bends the metal, as I will demonstrate here in about 2 seconds. Alright, so this is the 5-inch mark I need to bend at. So you take this, set it in here. I find it's kind of flimsy, this press brake is, so I found it a little bit better if I score the metal first. So take this, tighten it down on both sides. You gotta grab a ratchet and a socket. Well, I got a ratchet, but the wife brought me a wrong socket. I asked for a half and she brought me 3/4. So give me a second, let me grab a socket. Okay, sorry, I didn't tell my wife that she needed to grab a half. She's the cameraman right now. All right, so just tighten this down right on the lines that you need. Now I'm gonna take a grinder, I'm gonna just score the metal across there, like so. two handles, cram them in. I kind of put them a little too far apart. Just pick it up, and we get a fancy bend in the metal. Alright, so I'm going to bend this other side. You don't need to really watch the other side, but easy homemade break anybody can make. Bent floor piece, boom. Okay, well, I think I've set this piece in, screwed it in. I had to make a little piece for the front after I tucked that one piece in behind the other flooring, but this floor's pretty well done. I'm gonna remove this gas tank. I'm gonna keep the fuel neck here, put a fuel cap on it. I've been seeing people do a master set-off switch inside them, so I'm gonna cut the neck off somewhere down in here. I'll probably end up cutting it higher eventually. Safety first. Well, I think you guys can pretty well see the damage here. I have to get more flooring, cut all this out, replace it another time. But I do want to take the seats and see if I can set them in here, see if my fat belly can fit behind this steering wheel here. I do have a floor shifter that I'm going to have to do all that eventually whenever I get it ready to go run and drive. Still ain't had a drive shaft built for it yet. Put the floor shifter in and stuff. I'm gonna take the seats, toss them in here, see what we got, see if I can clear. I don't know, they look like they might work. I don't know if they're sitting too straight up and down. They might be, but I'm 6'1", so I need room, but I just got it laying across the piece angle I tossed down here. But I don't know, I'm gonna sit in it, see if the angle falls in, see if it fits pretty good. I can't gain much weight, but I think I can make them work. Actually kind of comfortable. You know, I'm kind of not really straight up and down, but see from the distance, but it's actually about perfect in the up and downness. I think I can make these seats work. Two of them, plus the second one in beside me. There ain't enough room in for an arm console or nothing. Bam, pretend there's a shifter here. You might be laughing, but that is literally the most driving this truck has done in many years. So, let's see if I can hop out of here. Well, the floorboards are done. Got the seats set in here. They kind of work. I think I can make them work. Just got a piece of angle holding them up right now. Replace the bottom floorboard sometime soon. Have to do something with this. But that's it. I'm signing out. See you guys next time.